So in this video we are going to talk about fake experience and real experience. So we'll differentiate because sometimes it might happen that experience which you consider as a fake could be real and the experience which you consider as a real could be fake. So this is very important to understand as we talked about the background verification in the past videos. If you see the last couple of videos, I have talked about employment verification. I have talked about the background verification. So it shows there is a content, there is a provision for that where they do an employment verification, they do an experience check. So how do you do that? So just we'll try to understand कि फेक एक्सपीरियंस क्या होता है और रियल एक्सपीरियंस क्या होता है. सो बिफोर वी गो ahead with in this video, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get the new videos update as soon as I upload. And any question you have related to IT or any other job domain or any other interview tips, you can ask. I would be happy to answer that and I'll try my best to give you the satisfactory answer. So let's talk about the fake and real experience. अभी क्या होता है कि suppose you are joining a company और आप कंपनी ज्वाइन करने से पहले यू फ्रेशर एज अ फ्रेश यू हैव कम आउट ऑफ द कॉलेज एंड यू स्टार्ट सम ट्रेनिंग विद सम इंस्टीट्यूशंस. So at that point of time, what happens when you are in the training? So you might go for a 6-month training or a 1-year training. So normally these institutions, what they do, they provide you a certificate of experience of a 1 year or maybe of a 6 month. So now what do you consider this? Is this a real experience or a fake experience? If you ask me in terms of verification, तो आपका वेरिफिकेशन, बैकग्राउंड वेरिफिकेशन जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट का वो क्लियर हुआ. क्यों? क्योंकि आपने उस इंस्टीट्यूट के साथ ट्रेनिंग ली है. यू हैव कमिटमेंट टू देम. सो जब भी थर्ड पार्ट, जब भी कंपनी का वेरिफिकेशन, जहाँ भी आप नई कंपनी में शॉर्ट लिस्ट होते हो, सेलेक्ट होता है और उनका वेरिफिकेशन उस कंपनी को जाएगा तो दे विल से यस यू हैव वर्क फॉर देम. सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ यू कैन से for the verification it is a real experience, but for you actual work experience is a fake experience because with the training institute we all know that you haven't worked on a live projects, but where you're getting shortlisted, showing your 6 months experience or 1 year experience, you will be working on a live projects. So that's there it makes difference. So in the next video we'll talk about what you can do if you have shown some kind of experience in the video, then what you should do during your probation. Because what happens, आपका जो interview होता है that is for half an hour or an hour, so it is very difficult to actually judge that how much you know and what are your capabilities. That's why this probation period concept is there. So we'll talk in detail in different video about that. So that is one thing, that whether it's a fake or real. So if you say in terms of verification your experience is real, but in terms of actual knowledge your experience is fake. Number one. Number two, what happens, some people they have some relative or some references who has a company or who owns some company, so they get a experience letter from them. So that is also, if you in a way if it get to the verification, the person who is known to you, they'll verify yes that you were working there. But what happens after that when you join a company? Again the real experience come to zero. So you have to judge whether you are getting into the real experience or you are getting into the fake experience. Now when we talk about somebody, you can talk about some people, what they do, they just randomly mention any name of any company, and they'll put an experience key, oh you have a so and so years of experience, and then you do it. So in this case what happens, the verification goes, and this case verification will fail because you don't have the real company, you don't have the real email address. But yes, there are certain things that we talked about in the background verification. You might do that, but I would not advise to do this unethical practices. As I said, the other experiences which I talk about, whether it's some institution, whether it's a known company, whether it's a friend's company, whether it's a reference company, that might be little relevant to a real experience. But putting a company name without even work, without having any contact experience is completely no. You should never do that. You will fall in a trap and you will never get a job and you might get blacklisted with some of your dream companies. So don't do that. Now one of the experience that I want to talk about, for example, you have 5, 6 or 7 years of experience or maybe 2 years of experience. Now for example, I will take on one technology. For example, you have started working, you were working in Node, or you are working in Node, or maybe you are working in Java. But what happened during this, your tenure, you started learning Angular, you started learning Vue, or might be, for example, अगर आप Java developer हो, आपने Node सीखना start कर दिया. अगर आप Node developer हो, आपने Java सीखना start कर दिया. और आपका जो designation है वो मान लो अगर senior, software engineer है, whatever it is. बट एक्चुअली आपका जॉब प्रोफाइल क्या था, जावा का था या नोड का था. बट आपने क्या किया, सिंस यू स्टार्टेड लर्निंग नोड एंड हैड हैंड्स ऑन इट, सो आपने अपने रिज्यूमे में जब आगे फॉरवर्ड किया तो मेंशन कर दिया दैट यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस इन जावा आल्सो. आप नोड डेवलपर थे बट आपने ये भी मेंशन किया कि यू हैव एक्सपीरियंस इन जावा आल्सो. सो हियर व्हाट यू डू, you write all the skill set which is required in Java. So what do you say, ये रियल एक्सपीरियंस है या फेक एक्सपीरियंस है? आप मुझे ये बताइए कि कई लोगों ने ऐसा सवाल पूछा कि इसको मैं कैसे करूँ, ये मेरा रियल एक्सपीरियंस है फेक एक्सपीरियंस. सो एज फार एज आई नो एंड आई अंडरस्टैंड कि टेक्नोलॉजी जो होता है, वन शुडेंट बी अ टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन, दे शुड बी अ सॉल्यूशन ड्रिवन. तो अगर आप नोड में किसी अप्रोच को लेकर अगर कोई प्रोग्राम लिख रहे हैं तो जावा इज जस्ट अ सिंटैक्स, सो यू कैन सिंपली राइट अ प्रोग्राम. सो for me, I would consider it as a real experience, not a fake experience. Yes, एक पॉइंट है जहाँ पे आपने एक्चुअल प्रोजेक्ट में वर्क नहीं किया, बट चूंकि आपने नोड में एक्चुअल प्रोजेक्ट में वर्क किया तो आप जावा को उसकी जगह उसके सिंटेक्स को उससे रिप्लिकेट कर सकते हैं, उससे रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं. तो यू नो कि आपको कैसे वो कोडिंग करनी है और कैसे उसको आगे एग्जीक्यूट करना है. सो दिस इज what the difference you make between real experience and fake experience. But it is always advisable, अगर आप कॉलेज से फ्रेश पास आउट होते हैं, just try to avoid this kind of fake experiences, because it will create problem during your probation. Even if you get as I talked कि आप शॉर्टलिस्टेड हो भी जाओगे, आपका वेरिफिकेशन में क्लियर हो जाएगा, बट आगे जाके ये आपके लिए डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन हो जाएंगे. So rather you get terminated, it's better that you prepare yourself well in advance. And telling truth is not a difficult, and nowadays every company hires somebody is a technically sound who has a great problem solving skill. Companies are hiring, they don't need somebody to have come up with a 1 year or 2 year of experience, or even company hire for 1 year or 2 year, they consider them as a fresher only. So you shouldn't be worry much about that. So hope आपका जो रियल एक्सपीरियंस और फेक एक्सपीरियंस का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, जो एक व्यू है, वो क्लियर हुआ होगा. इवन इफ यू हैव एनी फर्दर क्वेश्चन, यू कैन ऑलवेज आस्क मी, आई वुड बी हैप्पी टू आंसर. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video. Do subscribe, like, comment and share.